I feel like what you tell your teenagers goes in one ear and out the other, and science has now proven you right. A new study has found that when kids reach 13 or 14, their brains literally tune out their mother's voice to focus on others in order to help them learn to grow up, be more independent. So does that surprise you, Nadia? Because...
Well, that does surprise me, because my kids actually say the opposite. They say whatever they're doing, they always think they can hear me. And Mark said, I know, if it's the same for me, even in my sleep.
Yeah, but are they listening to you? There's one thing that she's just... There she is again going, bah, bah, bah,
yeah,
bah,
no,
bah.
they always think I'm calling them. So they're always saying, yes, and I'm saying, well, I haven't called them. So they're more tuned in a way.
But do you think they're listening to you, or are they actually more tuned in to their mates? I mean, my daughter Bonnie is 15, and she will hear me, but it's going over her head completely. What she hears when I speak is yada, 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 yada.
What is she like when Dad speaks?
The same. The same. I mean, she's really into her friendship.
I was once talking to this teen psychologist. She said, actually, what's happening, and I suppose it goes along with what you were just saying, in a teen's brain is they're having thousands upon thousands of thoughts all day long. They're working out so many different things that actually they really can't hit you. And what you should try and do is just step back, not keep trying to break them out of whatever, like this. You should never do... Oi! Like, you know, when some people... daydreamer,
it's impossible.
That's really bad.
It's impossible not to do that, because, of course, now, any kid's not hearing their mum, they're going to go, well, on Loose Women, it said that it's...
My brain is shut down.
A survey said that I can't... I mean, yeah, exactly that. My sister said that I've got that, though. She said that this stems back to the day that our Mandy and Twinkle comics used to come. I know you're going to go about the war.
Were you eating suet pudding when you were watching, reading these?
Oh, my God, they were like amazing comics, and I would get Mandy and she would get Twinkle, and I know that lots of our lovely viewers will relate to that, and June and School Friend. And she said that so I'd be reading it, and I still do it now. If I'm reading or if I'm on my phone, apparently people could say whatever was happening and I wouldn't hear it. So I can understand that happening, but I don't just...
What kind of teenager were you? And I kind of hesitate to ask this question.
No, I didn't really have that much to rebel against. Not that my parents were overly liberal or you know, that I had boundaries, but they were quite firm with me, but I didn't really push those boundaries very much, in the same way that my kids didn't really, so I didn't have to be that strict with them.
Yeah. What about you?
No, I never really stuck to boundaries. So if I was ever in trouble or I came home late, my mum would say, that's it, you're grounded for a week. But I never took any notice of that.
I wish I
used to climb out the window and go out. So she'd be in bed thinking we're all asleep, tucked up, all safe and that. And I'd be out partying or having a drink or whatever.
See, this is what I really passionately believe in this. I think if you go to war with your teenager, you will not win. I think if you give heavy punishments, if you ground them, all of this, they will find another way. And what I think happens is that they just retreat more, they tell you less, they become more secretive.
I think it depends on what they've done. I mean, my kids, you know, they're both lovely young men. I wish I'd been stricter with just little things like I wish I'd stuck to my guns about keeping the bedrooms tidy, because they're both terribly untidy. It actually
in your house, but not in their own house.
No, well, certainly not in Louis' flat. He's not. But it's
well, then you've
like
done a good job. He's keeping his own flat nice and tight.
I wish I'd been better about
But the thing is, would it have worked? You know, I mean, if
know.
you had been super strict with them, right? OK, tidy that bedroom, stomping about. Do you think it would have worked?
Strict.
Because, like, with you, Linda, it didn't work with you, did it?
No, it had the opposite effects for me.
Yeah.
So the tougher she was on me, the more I think, well, I'm not listening to you. I'm old enough now. I can go out if I want.
I haven't been strict with anything with my kids, not clearing up, not anything, as you can imagine. But they're just so well behaved. Yesterday, I came off air and I had a message from Maddie. I don't know why they panic, because I've never told them off for breaking anything. Mum, I'm so sorry. I was putting bicarbonate of soda on my bites and I spilt it on the floor and it's left a terrible stain, and I've been rubbing it, and this stain is getting bigger the more I rub it. I rang back and went, oh, no, you've cleaned it. I said, what you've done is you've put a stain of clean floor.
That's what it's meant to look like, the floor.
So, what am I going to do now?
Carry on rubbing, Maggie.
I said, can you go and put something back on it. Get some more bites.
Oh, my God, that's so funny.
But it was so funny that she was so worried, because I've never, ever told them off about that. It's funny, isn't it?
I think I've stained my windows.
Yeah.
I think you need a cleaner.
Well, we did do a poll on this. We asked you, do you wish that you were stricter with your kids? And 66% of you said no.
Oh, you would say
Only.
no, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, that phrase that you use exactly about why would we be at war with our children?
Exactly.
I mean, our job is to try and help them and guide them and, you know, get through life. It's not to
You always say be on their side, which I like.
be on their side. That's what I think.